Hello, welcome to my new channel. My name's Tabby, and in the words of the great Keanu Reeves,
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies.
the aim of this channel is to bring you TV reviews, film festival content, video essays, and a whole lot more. Today I'll be covering my first day of London Film Festival online. I saw 4 films yesterday, and I'll be reviewing the ones that I'm allowed to talk about. As with last year, I'm a feature film delegate, which means I get access to all the press and industry screenings, meaning I can sort of, check them out beforehand, see what's worth watching, what's not worth watching. I'm currently in the northeast of England, which means I'm back in lockdown, but it means that I can watch all of the films and bring you all the content, so that's nice. So my first film was Honeymoon, a rom-com that sees a newlywed couple on a surreal urban odyssey through the streets of Jerusalem. Now I'm reading that synopsis off IMDb because it has been embargoed and I'm not allowed to have an opinion on it yet. Unfortunately, that means I can't talk about it in today's video, but if you do fancy watching Honeymoon, it'll be available on BFI Player on the 8th of October. My second film was Mogul Mowgli, directed by Bassam Tariq and co-written by Riz Ahmed himself. This one was one of my most anticipated films of the festival. British-Pakistani rapper Zed is just about to make it big on his first world tour when he returns to London and finds he has an illness that threatens to ruin his career. First things first, Riz Ahmed is fantastic in this. The film plays out like a kind of fever dream, from the cramped aspect ratio to the sequences that may or may not be taking place in the main character's head. It's frenetic and overwhelming and kind of uncompromising. The images come fast and the words even faster. Throughout the film, Zed tries to grapple with his identity on both an artistic and a cultural level. There's a wonderful line that's used in explaining his illness: "Your body doesn't recognise itself, so it's attacking itself." This is at the core of the film, this unravelling of identity. The pace and flow of the film is also very clever in reinforcing this crumbling. I would say it takes more from the horror genre than nearly any other. It's quite vicious in what it decides to show you. I think overall I wouldn't say that I enjoyed Mogul Mowgli. I think it's too intense a film for that kind of description, but I would say that the craft and the themes on display here make it well worth a watch. I'm very happy to give Mogul Mowgli a 7 out of 10. Now, if Mogul Mowgli sounds like it's one for you, you can catch it on BFI Player for the London Film Festival on the 10th of October, and it's getting a wider release on the 30th. My third film was Norwegian documentary, The Painter and the Thief. Now, this has been doing rounds at various film festivals and garnering lots of well-deserved attention. It tells the story of Czech artist Barbara in the aftermath of her 2 most valuable paintings being stolen from the window fronts of Galerie Noble in broad daylight. Desperate for answers, she ends up befriending one of the thieves responsible. Now, I'm a massive fan of Dogwoof documentaries. I will watch anything they put out into the world, so this was another film I was highly anticipating. The great thing about The Painter and the Thief is it takes such a different approach to what one would expect, but it's an organic kind of change. You would expect that the story here revolves around Barbara getting her paintings back, but it really evolves into something so much more poignant. It becomes a tale of friendship found in the most unlikely of places, and the film balances the narrative between the perspectives of both Barbara and Carl the thief. And what emerges is this really rather wonderful character study, but for the both of them. The way in which the narrative is revealed to us is stylised and clearly designed to produce these plot twists, but honestly I didn't really have a problem with it because by that point I'd become invested. This was by far my favourite film of the day. I think it has the potential to be nominated for Best Documentary at this year's Oscars. I hope it does. I hope it does get nominated. I'm very happy to give it an 8 out of 10. Now, you can catch The Painter and the Thief over on BFI Player on the 8th of October, and it's getting a wider release on the 30th. My fourth and final film of the day was The Disciple. The Disciple focuses on Sharad, a young man who has devoted his life to becoming an Indian classical music vocalist. At its heart, it explores what it is to dedicate yourself to something, to a pursuit that you may never fully achieve. I won't beat around the bush. This film was a chore. 30 minutes into my final film of the day and I'm about to stop for a coffee because I'm about to fall asleep. At least I can make a mean cappuccino. It's over 2 hours of slow-mo motorcycle rides, singing montages, sadly a type of singing I don't particularly care for, ponderings and aggressive narration delivered via forgotten lecture tapes. I think it had good intentions, but 20 minutes in I was so bored. One of my best friends gave up 20 minutes in, and I really don't blame her. Overlong, tiresome, lethargic are all words that come to mind. I wanted to feel that emotional investment that comes with seeing a fellow human being have a passion and pursue that passion, but it was so lifeless that I really struggled. My attention span on films is usually pretty good, but this could not hold my interest. I truly never want to hear this type of classical Indian music ever again, and I do feel bad for saying that, but imagine this situation. Imagine you hate country music, or any other kind of music. Just pick that kind of music that you detest with a passion. Now imagine I sat you down at a concert for that kind of music for 2 hours straight. I can't imagine you're having a particularly great time. Now, this really wasn't for me. It might be for other people. I've seen it get really good reception elsewhere, but for me, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. If it does sound like something that's up your street, you can catch it at LFF on the 7th of October. And that's it for day 1. I'll try and do a similar thing for the rest of the festival, but I'm seeing 4 or 5 films a day, so we'll see how that goes with my sleep schedule. I'm very new to all of this, but if you enjoyed today's video, please do drop a like down below. And if you want to hear more about what's on at LFF and beyond, hit that subscribe button. Until next time!